Time to play the game!
No, my room is soaked. Fuck! Look at my wall.
This was WWE Wildfire. What's up, guys? Welcome to WWE Wildfire. We are back with the broadcast show of shows, basically our WrestleMania every week. But we are going to be covering the Payback pay-per-view in this episode, and only strictly that. So in like a day or two, we'll probably be doing Raw. Yeah, so we just wanted to keep it separate for the pay-per-views, since people only really care about the pay-per-views, so we can attract their attention, pretty much. Okay, so, the Payback show. So we had the pre-show. Now, there was obviously Corbin versus Ziggler, which was moved down to the pre-show, probably because of the result that they decided to give us, which was it was weird, and I don't like it. But yeah, basically Corbin lost against Ziggler, because why not? Well, I mean, he's meant to get a push, lost in his first pay-per-view. Doesn't really add up, but...
It makes sense. I don't think it would Dolph Ziggler a push. I don't know.
I know.
I guess they're probably gonna. The only reason why I think they would probably do it is because they want this rivalry to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And make an actual thing. But I don't know why they want that if it's just gonna be on the pre-show. So.
And just like what I said about Dean Ambrose in the last episode, how an Extreme Rules match really suits him. So maybe he'll lose and then win. So this could be a thing with Corbin to completely destroy him.
I still think they should have made Ambrose have a main event spot. Maybe not main event, but I don't know. I get.
We'll get there soon. Okay. There was also Kalisto versus Ryback on the pre-show, and I have to say, for a pre-show match, it was better than their one at Mania. Partly because there was like half the crowd at Mania at the time, but the match was actually really good. He did like a military press from the top rope. It was great. Kalisto won, which I think is the right move. Kalisto's got a hell of a lot of potential in my eyes.
Make the US title a bigger deal though. It's like literally nothing right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in our Raw episode, we'll be talking about the #1 contender very soon. So yeah, the pre-show overall was pretty decent for a pre-show.
Okay.
So on to the main show, and unfortunately, much like the pay-per-view had to start with this, we have to start with this. It was the Vaudevillains versus Enzo and Cass, with New Day eating their popcorn at ringside.
New Day, when they brought out the pizza and was sat there, oh my god, I was pissing myself. That New Day are brilliant. Enzo and Cass, them coming out at the start of the show, them being the first match, it gets everyone pumped and hyped.
Yeah.
So definitely a good move to bring them out first. Just a shame what happened.
Yeah. So I don't know if it doesn't seem like it's a proper mistake. I mean, it's probably just some kind of like accident, I suppose.
It would just be like, it's not. I don't think it was a mistake on anyone's part. I literally just think Enzo didn't move his head out of the way in enough time, so it didn't smack off the rope.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the injury already, then I don't know how, because they showed it like 1,000 times at the pay-per-view. It seemed like. But yeah, basically he was gonna do like a baseball slide under the ropes.
Yeah.
And he hit his head on the ropes, and you saw the eyes roll back, and it was like, what's going on?
I didn't even think the ropes were even that hard, but
I know. And then he whacked his head on the mat, and then he whacked his head on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's scary, and it's just like when you don't know what's going on, because in live time it's like, okay, this is a mistake then. But then when the referee is like getting officials out, like a proper stretcher, and then he puts the X up as well at the ring announcers, it's like, oh dear, this is not good.
Yeah. It just shows that they really are putting their bodies on the line. Anything can happen. Like, it's fair. Like, although getting knocked out is like a bad thing, there's a lot worse. There's a lot worse that can happen.
Exactly.
Nothing else.
So happily, Maggle Cole gave us some updates throughout the show, telling us that he suffered a concussion. However, everything else tested negative, so he's good. He's good.
He will be back soon.
Thank God for that. Enzo will be so over when he's back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for Cass in that way, but
yeah, same. Because Cass, although I do like how Cass is still coming out, he's not just chilling.
Yeah.
He's actually
It gives the Vaudevillains something to do. as well as New Day. So yeah, we'll move on to the next match, which actually got to start from start to finish, and we had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a very good match, as you'd all expect.
If it's Kevin Owens and Sami in the same match, you know it's just gonna be brilliant, and it truly was like very, very exciting. I really enjoyed that match.
I thought there'd be more of the the spots where because they just hate each other. They're just punching away at each other, and they're like not letting go, and they're just punching. I thought there'd be a lot of that. Like they start the match and then just go for it.
It was very good. I did really enjoy that match.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
So yeah, Kevin Owens won, which I like. I think that's good.
I do think it's good.
I mean, yeah.
It was good that happened.
Also, a notable thing was good old Maggle Cole back at it again. So Sami Zayn, obviously his signature move is a Blue Thunder Bomb, which is kind of like a power bomb, but he like spins him around whilst he's doing it, and there's a pin with it. He basically got Kevin Owens up for like a power slam, like a sit-out power slam, went for the pin, and then good old Maggle was like, "Oh, and there's the Blue Thunder Bomb," and I was like, "No, that's not a Blue Thunder Bomb." And then 3 seconds later, he did it, and then he was like, "That's a Blue Thunder Bomb." I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Oh Jesus.
We also had the spot where I thought that Kevin Owens was going to do like a crazy move on the apron, but instead he got flipped over.
I was excited for that, but nothing did happen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like how do you like fake that? It's on the edge of the ring. That hurts.
It hurt a lot.
You've just got to take it, I guess. And then obviously Sami Zayn did the DDT through the corner ropes thing that he does, and it looked great.
That match was very good. I really, really did enjoy that.
Yeah. So Owens won off of like a pop-up powerbomb, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then he went on and he called out Byron Saxton, to which case I was like, okay then, I just call out some other person. I suppose it's just to make Byron Saxton seem like a person in there. And
I do like Byron, he's good.
Yeah. Could you imagine, because he used to be in NXT when he was starting out, and then he became a sort of backstage person, then into a commentator. I was just like, oh please, just like bang him out, be part of this feud. Could you imagine?
I'd have liked to have maybe like seen him like getting.
It'd be funny. Yeah, Kevin Owens sold everything fantastic. He was talking to Byron. He was like, ask me how I like beated Sami Zayn or something, and then he was like, do you think this rivalry is over? And then Kevin Owens is like, that's not what I asked you, but still, I'll answer your question. Kevin Owens is fantastic. And then he was like, oh yes, thanks for the invitation, and I will accept that. I will sit with you at commentary.
He's so funny. When he was on commentary throughout the next match, some of the arguments that were going on,
that was insane. Literally, Byron would say like, "Oh, what a move," and then Kevin Owens just be like, "Shut up."
Byron,
so good.
He's brilliant on the mic. He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So obviously, the match that he was commentating over was the next one, and that was The Miz versus Cesaro. Yeah. In a relatively good match. Now, I've read online about people not really liking the ending, how like people can tap out but the ref didn't see it, and then they still pick up the victory. But honestly, I like it because it's a new way for a heel to win rather than like just kind of a dodgy roll up, their manager distracting. That would have been pretty boring. Or like getting their ring, like their feet like trapped on the ropes whilst like getting a leverage pin. But I think the way that you want it was good because it keeps Zayn and Owens going, and also it brings them into the mixer for this IC title. And Kevin Owens wants that title back, so yeah.
I did like it how Zayn came back out afterwards. Like you said, it does keep the rivalry going. It doesn't just show that might be the end of it. It made it seem like, oh yeah, this is going to carry on.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure who's going to win at the next pay-per-view. If it is it probably is a fatal four-way.
Yeah, definitely. I'd think so.
I mean, I literally have no idea. I feel like Cesaro will win, and then Owens and Zayn will just keep battling out.
as much as Cesaro deserves it, because obviously he was out for a while with his injury and stuff,
Hmm.
but I still think it would be good to see one of the new guys win it, like either Owens or Zayn. I would not mind, because they're
Yeah.
both absolutely brilliant. I'd like to see either one of them to win it. I mean, if Cesaro wins, I wouldn't mind, but yeah.
I could see a thing happening where Zayn screws Owens and Owens screws Zayn, like during the match, like during the ending of the match, just by like punching it out at like ringside whilst the pin's going on because they just hate each other so much, and then their
Yeah,
rivalry could continue to the side again.
that would be good.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this next match, and it should be fantastic.
It will be good.
Yeah, also Cesaro kicked out of a skull crushing finale, which is
Yeah,
pretty good. I liked it.
Mhm.
And I can't remember. I think this was on Raw rather than the pay-per-view. But if it was on the pay-per-view, then I will mention it because I feel like I'll forget on the Raw
Yeah.
broadcast. Basically, Eden Styles, who's like the announcer, like the person who talks, like this match is scheduled for and all that.
Oh yeah.
She was sitting in like that area past the barricade, and I feel like this was on Raw. Cesaro did some stuff, and then came back from the crowd through the like announcer place, and then some person in the audience was like just behind Eden, and then he put up his hand for a high five for Cesaro, and then Cesaro like put his hand up for the high five, and then Eden put her hand up and got rejected, and they just like both high fived it up above her. So yeah, I don't think that was on paper. I think it might have been on Raw. Yeah, it was just funny watching it, and poor Eden.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cesaro definitely the best technician now that obviously Daniel Bryan's moved on. Best technician in the company. He, literally, the first like 5 seconds, did a move, turned it into a submission move. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Miz retained. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. It keeps the feud going. Keeps. Yeah.
And
I'm
without a Miz push, and with Miz TV still going on, without a Miz push, it just seems a bit boring.
Yeah, definitely.
So then we have Jericho versus Ambrose in the second longest match of the night, which was probably just to make up for that first match.
Yeah. I can vaguely remember this match. For some reason, I can't really remember it too well.
So
it was.
in this one, I was falling asleep.
That kind of does it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, well, it was a good match. I just started falling asleep because obviously I was tired, as you can expect. But basically, when it's a long match, because Jericho and Ambrose basically put on. It wasn't like a fired up crowd match. It was more like a grueling, sort of long-winded attack kind of thing. It's like one of those matches where it's just like, what's it going to take to beat each other kind of thing. But yeah, I think they kicked out of each other's finishes and stuff like that. But yeah, Ambrose won, which is fantastic, I think.
Yep.
Suits it. And Jericho was brilliant after the match, like selling the loss, walking around like at the ringside, just screaming at everyone. It was fantastic.
Jericho is brilliant. He's such a fantastic heel. I do really like him.
And then obviously he teased us on Twitter after Payback, and before Raw, he tweeted like, "Thanks for everything, WWE. ... It was great," or something. And then people were like, "Okay, well, bye then, Jericho." And then he turns up on Raw. So I think he just murked us.
Told us.
And then the next match, which was good and then wasn't, Charlotte versus Natalya for the women's belt. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. They were doing great. Obviously, Brett didn't. If you took those sunglasses off, like you would have seen how angry he was to be there. But just to have those two in each other's corners, him and Ric Flair, it's like, okay, let's have a good match for this. Like
they'd have to make it a good match because Brett is there.
Exactly. It was good, and then obviously Charlotte put Natalya in the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. And then Lil Nate goes ahead and rings the bell for the Chicago Screwjob. It just made... it's just so cheap. It's such a cheap victory that way.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd rather it been like a straight pinfall. Because we haven't seen like... Yeah, a straight pinfall would be good. I'd really like that.
Because obviously the finishes of quite a few of the top divas now, like the likes of Charlotte, the likes of Natalya, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Paige, they've all got like submission moves as their finishes.
Yeah.
So if obviously someone taps out, it's kind of like that's a statement. Like you're tapping out, you're giving up.
Yeah.
Whereas a pin, you're out. That's it. The other person did better, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the crowd can go ahead and be like, "You tapped out," like just chanting it throughout the next night on Raw. I mean, Charlotte could have won on like a roll up or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just
But that, like,
literally this using the screwjob there made no sense. Like the good thing about using it with Brett and Shawn Michaels was that it tied into real life because obviously Brett and Vince hated each other at this point. Brett was like he wanted to leave and like he didn't want to job to or lose in non-wrestling terms. He didn't want to lose to Shawn Michaels because he just felt like not Shawn Michaels. What am I on about? But he didn't want to lose, and Vince came out, was like ring the bell, and if that was a real angle, then Jesus. But there was no storyline to this, and people who are new to wrestling obviously had no idea what was going on, and they must have felt absolutely screwed. And I mean, it's like at this point when we've got like 2 things to go. They've been going on about this whole thing, a new era. I'm just like, are you sure? Like, I don't see anything new about this right now. So if they could clarify that, that'd be fantastic. It was probably that as well as their camp WWE that they were promoting.
Yeah.
People think that it was it's just gonna suck. But from the promos, like some of them made me laugh. Like apparently in the first one, Ric Flair's like humping a dog or something. It's like, well, what is going on?
It's gonna be. I don't know. I might check it out.
I think I'll watch the first episode just out of curiosity.
Just see what it's gonna be like.
Yeah, and there've been people saying like it's not actually as bad as people think it is gonna be. I might watch the first one. So, just fun. Natalya lost, in case everyone was still wondering. And, that's a shame, but, what can I say? Now then, the authority angle. The bit we were all waiting for, and the bit that thoroughly disappointed us. We loved this outcome, it was fantastic. So, about half an hour, this whole thing.
It was long, but I guess they had to make up for the end zone cast match.
I know. And I'm surprised they literally did. Like, they put a match on the pre-show as well. And also, the Enzo casting happened. I mean, the authority angle was just boring. The only thing I liked about it was right at the start when Vince McMahon was acknowledging the CM Punk chants.
Yeah. Dude, that fucking crowd. Oh my god. Because I didn't watch this live. Excuse me, because I fell asleep. And then someone didn't wake me up in time to watch it. Basically, I watched it like the next day, and I messaged Tom as soon as I heard the chants were crazy. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
it was so like loud and the fact that like Vince was acknowledging like the CM Punk was just crazy.
I know. It's like we're not gonna give up until Punk returns. Could you imagine the pop if Punk returns?
If he returned, it would probably be one of the greatest pops in history.
If they did it in Chicago as well, if he had like come out and if Vince was like, okay, neither of you are running Raw, this is the man who is. And then CM Punk. Now, I know exactly what he should do to get some real heel heat. They should, because the CM Punk entrance music, it starts off with like the the static thing, and it's like and then does a bit of the music. If he did that, and then it turns into Vince's music and he comes out people would have hated it. It would have been amazing.
It would, yeah. That would be really good for him to get beat by. I just don't think they want to. Fair enough, he acknowledged the chance. I just don't think they want to like.
They just don't want to be like CM Punk to everyone.
Yeah.
It's like how they can't just go ahead and say Bullet Club.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one knows why. But yeah. So in case you're wondering, both Stephanie and Shane are controlling Raw. The handshake at the end I thought was probably the next best thing about the whole thing, because I don't know if it seemed genuine, like. But
I know we're not really meant to be speaking about Raw, but Stephanie was being nice. Maybe she's trying to face, but I don't think so.
It's given it like Dean Ambrose could see straight through her kind of thing.
Yeah, Shane will do something and it'll just make a snap, and then she'll.
I could see something with the Wyatts, because Bray Wyatt is an intelligent lad.
Yeah.
It could be like doing something to Stephanie, like no, because that could be a way to get her off TV, you know, and have Shane run Raw. It'd be a weird angle because it's like creepy guys and a woman, but yeah. PG, right? So. On to the main event, which was surprisingly good.
Best Roman match I think I've probably ever seen. Helped by AJ, of course.
Yes, I think that was, you know, I can't remember a better one.
It was very, very good.
It was definitely, it was 100% better than the WrestleMania match that you had against Triple H.
Definitely.
Because you had a much more dynamic, there's two different wrestlers there. Whereas Triple H and Reigns are kind of like two badasses going at it. And obviously AJ Styles could sell his power moves, whereas Triple H doesn't, because he likes his sledgehammer and his shovel to bury people. But yeah, it was a fantastic match. And obviously they put... They had the phenomenal forearm, put someone through a table.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that was possible, but it looked absolutely insane.
It did look very good, but I just didn't see how it would work. It did. The thing is, the table did not go straight through instantly, so...
Yeah. I mean, it takes some weight to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously then it was a count-out. I was watching it with Stefan, not live. I'd already watched it, but I wasn't going to tell him what was going to happen. Because I just wanted to see his reaction throughout. And yeah, it ended in a count-out, and Stefan was like, what?
Then I literally
called it.
The whole thing. I was just like, nah, Shane's coming out and saying this isn't happening. And then he came out, and then he said, no count-outs, let's go. Restart the match. Yeah, so fair enough. Then it got better. It got better and better and better.
See, the thing about doing that is, like, everyone can then expect Stephanie to come out. Because it's like, if they're both controlling, then obviously one's going to come out, the other's going to come out. When it has a dodgy ending like the DQ, which was a shot to the nuts, even though AJ Styles like held his torso, whatever. Yeah, and then she made it a no DQ, which was fantastic.
But then we got to see the Bullet Club.
Yeah. Can I also say, when she made it a no DQ, the look on Roman Reigns' face was similar to that of Raw, which we'll get to in a few episodes. Mate, all these cheeky plugs. But no, the look on Roman Reigns' face when it was like no DQ, he was like, nah, this is ending. And I was like, please, can they just not just commit to going full heel or something? It's just...
It was literally... Roman looked so heely, which is why I think it was so good. He needs to become a heel, because I think he'd be a good heel also.
Yeah.
Like, just from seeing that match, he was starting to become like a heel. From what we saw of the perspective of him being a heel, he was very good at it. So I'd like to see some heel action. They need to make a definitive turn.
In fact, for our Raw show, I would like to have a little debate about something. So I'm going to quickly write down a note.
Ready?
So surprisingly, there were moments where I thought maybe AJ Styles could win this, because when he was pinning him, he got the rope break on a no DQ, and I was like, is that the thing? In fact, I'm gonna search it up now, because I want to make sure it's a thing, because I feel like you can have a rope break on just a no DQ. So no DQ match rope rope break. So I'm just gonna quickly check. But yeah, I mean, he got the rope break. Rope breaks are fantastic. I like them because it adds to the suspense. They're not actually like kicking out. It's like they are using desperation. They're lucky. They're right by the sort of ropes. Okay, yeah. So it says, well, this is Reddit, but someone says no and usually no. Wait, yeah, he said no, usually not. But if they do it, then it just kind of adds to kayfabe and all that, keeping it real. But I mean, if they'd said like no holds barred, then that would have definitely been dodgy. So I know for sure that that's like, okay, there's no rope breaks. But yeah, there was. That's probably why I didn't say no holds barred then, or something. But yeah, so then Bullet Club came out and attacked Reigns. It was fantastic. And obviously, this was when the rope break was coming, when he did the phenomenal forearm rope break. Fantastic. And every time that Styles was kicking out of any move, the crowd were just happy because they just didn't want it. Like when he caught him with the Superman punch when he was going for a forearm.
Yeah.
People were like, "Please kick out of this," and he did. It was brilliant. The pop that he gets when he just kicks out. And it's funny that because it's like they were building up Reigns to try and be their top heel, top face. But they put him up against the actual top face. So, yeah.
So which does kind of show that they're probably steering him towards it. I think it's good that they're kind of building it up. But come on, please, we want to see it sooner than later.
So then obviously we had the Usos come out and as the equalizer, and people didn't care at all.
No, they're the Usos. They're good, but they're not quite counted.
And then AJ Styles went top rope, and Reigns pushed him onto them. And then wisely Styles moves out the way as Reigns just does this huge leap. It always looks great for the cameras. His huge leap over the top. It's like he gets his whole body over it. He doesn't like. It doesn't look like a proper like dive, but more like a dive. I did some actions.
Big dive.
Yeah, he just has a hell of a leap. It's like Shane McMahon. He has a hell of a leap.
Yeah.
And then obviously using the barricade for the phenomenal forearm was very nice. And then he rolled him into the ring with a 450 splash. He's so... AJ Styles is just brilliant in this match.
So talented. He was so good.
He fires up any crowd. He's fantastic. He's phenomenal. And then obviously he kicks out the 450. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know how I feel about that because it's like he's done a lot to him at that point.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole match, Reigns was getting beaten. Like, you just didn't see any offense. I think it's just because people like the high moves and all that.
Yeah. It does get the crowd pumped.
But yeah, I was also saying this a little bit. I like the idea that if they have the championship, they kind of have Brock Lesnar powers. Because then it just... because with Lesnar matches, you get sort of him versus anyone. Let's just say AJ Styles for this.
Yeah.
Him versus AJ Styles for the first 10 minutes. Lesnar just suplexing him around the rim, and then you get AJ Styles and Roman Reigns with added Brock Lesnar powers. And instead, we can have like a mix of the two, so it could be back and forth. And then Styles is like finding the resiliency that the Brock Lesnar powers has, and then like a spear just to kill him. And yeah, I mean, I liked the main event, so they booked it so well. The only dodgy thing was no one came out.
No.
And it's on a storyline basis for the whole of Payback. It's like, we wanted more, but wrestling basis, it was a fantastic show. Like,
it was good. I did very enjoy it.
I don't know how to pick like the worst match of the night.
No, because they were all pretty good.
Yeah, apart from pre-show matches, because they don't count. Yeah, it's like on the main show, like even Miz and Cesaro was a good match. Charlotte and Natalya was a good match.
Some of the endings were a bit dodgy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically Payback in a nutshell. We didn't see Finn Balor, didn't see the Wyatts, even though they were on the cover. We might see them at Extreme Rules. They could I'm predicting that they're gonna probably start a thing with Roman Reigns, whilst Usos does a thing with Bullet Club, and Edge starts as a thing with maybe Finn Balor. And lovely. And we also so we ended the show with the Authority backstage. So we had Vince McMahon, Shane, and Stephanie. Vince was impressed with them. He was like, "Okay, then get ready for Raw and all that." And it was like Stephanie's one up Vince, not Vince, Shane. And I mean, Stephanie did that weird look at Shane McMahon, like, "I fully support you on this," right into the eyes. I was just like, this could be a good swerve. It could be a good swerve.
It's weird.
I know, and people, because
Stephanie face is so weird.
Because obviously I was watching this live on a website, the network, but people were literally like commenting on the side like incest, because it just I know, because it was just a weird moment. It's literally like, hang on a minute, these are like siblings. This is not like your usual sibling, is it? Yeah, it was just a bit of a weird thing for it just to happen. Yeah, so that was Payback. So as we do with Raw, we are going to do this with Payback, and we are quickly going to get this open. Right. So, who was your favourite superstar of the night, Stefan? Oh, in fact, actually, hang on a minute.
Out of 10.
Because I want to brag about it. I may or may not have got all of the match predictions correct, apart from maybe Corbin, because that's stupid, and also Enzo and Cass, because of that reason. Oh, it's okay, Stefan, just because you picked Cesaro. Look at you, you picked Ryback. Oh dear, Stefan, man, it's just not ending well. Okay, no, that's my bragging done. Yeah, as you were saying, out of 10, let's do this.
Out of 10. What did I give the last one?
I have no idea. So last one was WrestleMania. I don't know. You gave it 7? Probably a 7. There's a solid number.
I'd say, even obviously WrestleMania that wasn't a good show, right? WrestleMania wasn't a good show, but because it's WrestleMania, it has to get high rated because it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, counting that was WrestleMania out, I'd give that about a 4, 5.
Okay.
But this, 6 or 7.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was. I'd give it a 6.5 or a 7. I really enjoyed that show.
Now, thinking about what I'm going to give this pay-per-view, because I've already decided what I'm going to give it. I want to say that I definitely feel like. Well, I'm going to ask you, what do you feel like is your like favorite thing about wrestling? So like, is it so if there's a show that's really good at storylines, do you like that? Or a show that's really good at in-ring wrestling, or like big spots, or like some kind of plot twist, anything like that?
Okay, so I'm going to say I do like the storyline aspect because it's not, even though it is a wrestling show, it's got to be entertaining, and to make it entertaining, they have to include the storyline.
Well, in fact, we'll take out the 2 words out of WWE. Well, there's 3, but we'll take out 2 words out of WWE. Wrestling versus entertainment. Which one do you prefer?
It's so hard to say. I'm going to say wrestling.
I mean,
the wrestling wouldn't be the same without the entertainment.
Yeah. The boring thing to say is just like, I like the 50-50, you know?
The wrestling isn't... Because we know that wrestling's fake, wrestling, if it was real, it wouldn't need the storyline. Like UFC, obviously, like, I'm going to use UFC as an example, I probably shouldn't. UFC, they obviously have, like, the weigh-ins and stuff, which does cause some stuff, but nothing like WWE, where they build up storylines for weeks and weeks and weeks and stuff like that. But UFC doesn't need it because the fights are actually real. But if WWE was literally just match after match after match, like just a bit of an announcing in between, and no real storyline behind the matches, I feel as though it would be a bit dead, because they'd have no hype behind the matches, and we know that they're fake. So I don't know. I think it needs both of them.
Well, before I give the grade for the show for me, I'm going to go ahead and say that I like the wrestling more. I just do. That's why I like watching a bunch of other promotions, such as Lucha Underground, I mean, I don't really follow their storylines, and I probably should because they seem decent. Like, you get Lucha Underground, they do the little tapes that they do. Like, they're literally a movie and then wrestling. Whereas WWE is like wrestling mixed with a soap opera kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas it's literally like Lucha Underground. You're watching. It starts off with like a video package of like it's like watching a movie, but like the storyline's progressing in like about 5 minutes. Yeah. And I just like I really like the wrestling, so I just skip to the matches. Yeah, so I'm definitely a wrestling guy, but I would never become a wrestler myself because I feel like that would just be a very daft plan of mine. Yeah, so given that, this may seem a bit overwhelming to some people, but I'm going to give the show an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Because honestly, if someone was like, if there was like, because obviously people are gonna be like commenting, oh, this guy's sad. On my computer, I have like a bunch of the pay-per-views for WWE.
A bunch, yeah, pretty much every single one.
Well, it's not every single one. I mean, I only started like, because I've got WrestleMania 31 on my computer. This also helped because I got a new computer which has got like way larger storage, so it's like easy. So I've got 31 on my computer, and then I kind of started at the beginning of 2016, so this year. So I got Royal Rumble, I got Fastlane, I got NXT Takeover Dallas because that was amazing. I've got this WrestleMania and I've got Payback on my computer. And honestly, if there was like, if there's no Wi-Fi, because that's literally my nightmare, then I would obviously, first of all, I'd be editing and stuff. Straight away, just to entertain me, I'd probably just head on and just watch a bunch of pay-per-views. And Payback, I feel like if someone was like, "Can you just watch Payback right now?" I could just be like, "Okay then." I could probably just watch the whole of Payback and be happy.
It wasn't said that I did. Definitely.
But yeah, so that's basically the show. But yeah, right. Best superstar of the night. Your opinion?
Mine. Okay, I've got an explanation behind mine.
Okay.
This person has been my least favourite for a long time. That's giving it away. But obviously, I don't think that they were the best superstar on the show. But because of how they performed, I'm going to have to give it to them because for once they did it right, which I'm so pleased at. So, Roman Reigns, because you're watching this.
Ooh, he's gone there. He's gone for the Roman Reigns for the show. Damn.
That's not to say, right, he did not perform the best, but compared to how he usually does, he did.
Okay. He surprised you. You were expecting him to just be like, this is boring, he's turning this show into crap.
The reason why it was good, I think, also was because AJ helped him out. Like, AJ would probably be the best on the show.
And that leads on to my favourite superstar of the show, AJ Styles. He absolutely lived up to anything I could have imagined from him, considering he's up against Reigns. He sold all of his power moves. He did a bunch of flippy moves to give away, like, what he's going to be doing for Extreme Rules. And obviously, I mean, I would have gone with, because it's a difficult one, because there were quite a few good superstars for the show. If it wasn't AJ Styles, I would have given it to Kevin Owens, because he was brilliant. But I just had to go with someone in the main event, because there was still good storyline telling there. Because you had a bunch of people come out, you had the Authority get involved, and I mean, yeah, there you go, AJ Styles, done. Favourite moment of the show?
Oh, okay. Favourite moment? Do you have one planned, or?
Yeah, I've planned out all of this.
Right, go for yours. I'm gonna think.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to one that I haven't given it my favourite moment, simply because the one I've got, I feel like is my favourite moment. So shout out to, first of all, Ryback taunting CM Punk in Chicago. He came out, he was on his knees, he was going like this, He was doing a CM Punk thing. Obviously, Stefan can't see me right now, but I just impersonated Ryback impersonating Punk, and it was fantastic when he came out. And I started to like this pay-per-view. Made me like Ryback a bit more, which is hard to do. And the other thing to give an honourable mention to is AJ Styles putting Reigns through a table. It looked amazing, good spot, and it was a way to just kick off the match. Like people, because Reigns was there, it's like I can't be asked, but that was the way to do it. Yeah, best moment overall has to be Kevin Owens on commentary. Superb, loved it. 10 out of 10, fantastic. Is it your same as well?
I'd like to say that, but
Okay.
along with that, New Day eating pizza outside the ring.
Okay.
I really, honestly, New Day is so damn good.
Literally, it cut over to them, and they were just scoffing on some pizza and popcorn. It was amazing.
New Day are brilliant. I love them, and I thought them doing that, brilliant.
I feel like it would have been funnier if the match had actually, gone on and nothing shenanigan-y would have happened. But yeah, I mean, New Day are just brilliant. So there you go. Worst or least favourite superstar. Now, I struggled with this one because, well,
It's definitely.
you guys think at home. Who would it be?
I've got one. I do have one.
Okay then, go ahead.
All of the superstars performed well. This is not to say that the guy did bad. To be fair, it wasn't purely his fault. I'm not sure which one of the Vaude villains did it.
Okay. Was it the one with the weird moustache with black
The one
hair?
that threw Enzo into the ropes, basically. Obviously, it was kind of Enzo's fault for not doing the slide right, but I don't know.
Okay, that seems fair enough.
But I'm not like blaming him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he performed bad. I'm just saying that I'm annoyed because Enzo's not going to be here for a while. Because I was really getting into Enzo and Cass, but I'm not going to be here for a while. So yeah, I'm just saying because the show was good. All the superstars performed well on it. I can't really think of it. It was awful. So that's my only letdown of the show that happened. So I have to just say him.
Yeah. It's kind of the same on my behalf here. I'm going to say Ziggler.
Okay.
And I mean either Ziggler or Baron Corbin, whichever way you want to look at it. Either Ziggler costed Baron Corbin for no apparent reason, or Baron Corbin didn't get the push he was required, kind of thing. So either of those, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyone from that match, because it was the only one that didn't make sense. And I'm not hating on Ziggler. Still really like Dolph Ziggler. He's fantastic. He's a great seller. He's a good in-ring performer. It's just like I've just run out of other superstars to pick. Really, that's literally the only reason.
That's bad because they all did well.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good show.
Right, worst moment or least favourite moment.
I know along with my worst superstar too when Enzo got injured because the whole show was good.
Okay.
And still the winning.
So I've got 4 things here, which seems a bit overdone. But it's hard to pick out worst moments of a show because you've when you watch wrestling for a long time, you can pick out bits where you're like, come on, do something with this. But I'm gonna go right. So number 4 is Baron Corbin losing because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, and I've already expressed my opinion about that. Number 3 has to be the Chicago screw job. Like, what are they thinking? That's such a cheap way to put over a match. Number 2 is the Enzo injury. Had to have it in there somewhere. I just didn't want to put it as number 1 because it seems like it's not part of the show. It's not really their fault, kind of thing. But number 1 has to be the Authority decision because I was expecting so much more, and instead they just decided, you can both do it. And it didn't really make sense because it's like Vince McMahon just told his children to be like, I want to see you argue, I want to see you hate each other, I want to see you slit your throats. It's like, what? These are your kids.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah. So I've also added in favourite match. So actually, I've ranked them from my favourite match to my least favourite match, just because I felt like I had time to do it, so whatever. But if it's easier for you, just say your favourite match.
Favourite match of the night? It would be... My brother's like distracting me. Okay. Favorite match of the night. Last main event, definitely main event.
All right.
Reigns performed well. AJ helped Reigns to perform well. AJ was good. Reigns was good. Good.
I would have put that at the top, but I changed it and put it as number 2 because I felt like you were going to say that. So I wanted to mix up a little bit. So there were 8 matches in total. Number 8, obviously, it has to be a tag match, I guess. I mean, I can't. I'm not going to like be like that was awful because it wasn't. It was just.
It probably would have been a good match.
Yeah.
But
it just couldn't, really take place.
like, yeah.
So number 7 has to be Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Didn't make sense, and it probably was just the worst match of the show. If Baron Corbin had won, it'd probably be the worst thing of the show, anyways.
Yeah.
And it was on the pre-show, so who cares? Number 6, Charlotte versus Natalya, purely because of that screw job, which didn't make sense at all.
Yeah. True.
The wrestling was good though, but all the other matches in my eyes were just better. Number 5, Kalisto versus Ryback. Yes, number 5 is the other pre-show match, which people will be able to be like, what? But for a pre-show match, I was expecting so much less. Kalisto was doing like backflips and stuff to dodge his moves. He was driven into the ring post and stuff. Obviously, he went top rope to do that military press slam there, Ryback. It was a great match, and I was just expecting it to be pretty awful, considering it's been on the pre-show for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Right, so then number 4, The Miz versus Cesaro, simply because all the rest I think were better. That's it.
Yeah.
Number 3, Jericho and Ambrose, because I need to just put that in there somewhere, so I put it as number 3. Obviously number 2 is the main event, like I already said, and number 1 has to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because it was just a great match.
Okay.
And it sets up the future matches as well. Right, on to our final thing. We've reached towards the end of the podcast. 5 questions. This will be taking place on our Raw review show as well, but I just changed the theme. So obviously we had Payback, so this theme is in general WWE Payback, not WWE Payback 2016, just when it first came out to now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so Stefan, question number 1, let's test your trivia knowledge of wrestling.
I'm ready.
You're on Google.
Oh yeah, I'll close it now. Wait, I can't really show you that I'm closing it. I was searching up MSI 2016 League of Legends when it started.
Okay, so the first one. What year did the show Payback debut?
It's 2016 now.
Mm-hmm.
We're in year 10. 16.
We're in year 10.
2016. Year 8, 2014. I'm going to say 2013.
You're going to say 2013?
2013.
Leave a comment what do you think it is right now. And you are correct. Well done.
Yeah, I knew it was about when we were in year 8.
No, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say that these are easy questions just to make you feel bad. But I tried to make them a little easier, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to show you up.
Yeah. So, very kind of you.
Number 4. Can't count. I was about to say number 10. I don't know why. At Payback 2014, Cesaro lost to Sheamus for the United States Championship belt.
Okay.
However, who was the manager in Cesaro's corner? Let's remember this is back in 2014.
Paul
Cesaro
Heyman.
had a manager. You're gonna say Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. Final. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's got it right. It is Paul Heyman. Well done. Obviously,
Was it Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Changed to Paul Heyman guy after WrestleMania 30, winning the Battle Royal, and didn't go anywhere with Paul Heyman in the end, which sucks.
Yeah.
But he's still got his push and everything, so he still is good. Can I also say huge, like the biggest Cesaro section there's ever been at Payback. There was just signs everywhere.
It was.
Okay.
I have a question about that. How do they do the Cesaro set? Do people just print them off at home, or do they hand them out at the start of the event?
Well, a lot of the cards WWE make, and then when the people come in, they like hand them out to people, just like, do you want to hold this up? Do you want to hold this up? That kind of thing. So they probably do that with the Cesaro section, but it obviously started off with a few people printing them off at home, being like Cesaro section and stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously some of the more obscure signs and ones that are like references to the likes of CM Punk, also ones that are like Reigns sucks or something like that. That's people themselves doing it. Also, there was a weird sign that said, "If AJ wins, we riot." And I was looking at it. I was like, I don't get this. And throughout the whole show, he was holding this up, and I was trying to think throughout the whole show. I was like, is there a reason? Like, just subconsciously. And I think I've got it. Because no one in their right mind would just put, like, seriously, if AJ starts winning, I'm just not going to hate. I'm just not going to like this show. I think it's because still in Chicago, back in 2000, this is where my knowledge goes to crap. 2011, Money in the Bank pay-per-view. We had CM Punk versus John Cena for the belt.
Remember that match?
And it was kind of tied into real life because CM Punk hadn't officially signed his contract to stay with WWE. And on that night, he won the title and all that. I believe because CM Punk was kind of not really the favourite in that match, because obviously Cena's in there and Cena wins, lol. And also because CM Punk hadn't like signed his contract so soon, people were like, okay, I guess he's just going to lose then. And so because like CM Punk won and he was sort of the underdog, like AJ Styles, because it was in Chicago, people loved it and they basically rioted kind of thing. They just went crazy for it. And so I think it's just to link with that. That's all I can make a judgment of. But yeah, there was just that sign. So it's either weird or it was either very clever. Right, number 3. Number 3.
Oh.
Jesus. What was the main event for Payback 2015?
2016? Oh, this
So it was last year. It was 11 months ago since they've swapped Payback and Extreme Rules around.
So around this time last year, around this time, what was who was the title holder? I feel like...
Think about it, bro.
Well, who was it at WrestleMania? WrestleMania 31, Seth Rollins won the belt.
Good old Seth Rollins, love him.
So Seth Rollins did carry that belt for a while.
Yes.
I'm presuming it was through to Payback. So Payback, he was feuding with Roman Reigns and Brock.
Okay.
So there was there a triple threat match between them three? I thought there was a Payback. I'm gonna say I'm not sure if there even was ever a different match. I'm just gonna say triple threat match. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I'm not sure if that's ever even been a match.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
It's a complete guess, but I just logically thought, I don't think it's ever been a match, but go. Tell me the answer.
Okay. So, I'll give you a quick rundown of how we got to Payback. WrestleMania 31, obviously Rollins cashed in.
Yes.
Lesnar got annoyed.
Yes.
And so the next night on Raw, Stephanie McMahon suspended Brock Lesnar indefinitely.
F5'd
like cameramans and stuff like that. Cameramen, not cameramans. So Lesnar was pretty much out of the picture at that point. We had Extreme Rules coming up, and the match was a steel cage match with Rollins and Randy Orton, with Kane as the gatekeeper.
Oh yeah.
And Rollins did his own RKO kind of thing, because the RKO was banned, and he did it himself, which is a really cool thing to do. And then we had Payback, the next pay-per-view. At this point, because it was called Payback, they decided they would get the people who had payback on Rollins, who needed payback on Rollins, Reigns and Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
So they did the fatal four-way of Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose, and Orton for the main belt. And,
Okay.
and the stipulation was that if Rollins had lost, then Kane would have would no longer have been like the director person or whatever.
Oh, I remember this. I do remember that.
And also this was when we had a little mini Shield reunion, which was fantastic. And they put Orton through the announce table. And then Rollins straight away sold it fantastically. He was like, "Yes, we're amazing," and then like hugged them, and then they were like, they turned to him like, "No, this is not a thing."
I do remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That was the main event for that one. So you've got 2 so far.
Oh, 3.
So you're doing well, I would say.
Okay, number four.
Next question: how many championships were up for grabs at this year's Payback?
Okay. Pre-show. 1. Yes, just the 1. Because the United States, what was the other match for the pre-show? Oh, yeah, Baron Corbin and Dawson, so that wasn't a title match. So you got 1 pre-show. Tag team championships. What was after the tag team champs match? Chris Jericho wrestling, and most that can be written off. There was Divas, well, women's. IC title and the main one. Big championship. 5?
You can say 5.
5.
The answer is 4.
What?
Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains.
Team was it? Oh, shit.
That's where I thought you're gonna get caught out because no one really cares too much about the tag titles. They're just like tag titles match, and then they move on.
God damn it, that's annoying. That was such an easy one. I could have got an easy point there. So I'm 2 out of 4, so I'm 50-50.
You're gonna have to do some more adding up here, Stefan. Last one. How many faces won at Payback 2016?
Pre-show. Who even won the Ryback theme match?
Well, think about it. I got that one right, and you didn't. Lol.
Kalisto won it. Yeah, so that's a face. Ziggler won it. That's another face. That's 2. Then it went on to the theme match. Technically, Hills won it because Vaudevillains. Then it went on to so let's say Ambrose Jericho. Who won that? Ambrose won that as a face. IC title match. IC title match. Who was in the IC title match? Who's the IC Miss and oh yeah. Oh, there was also Owens, Zayn, Hill won that. So there's only 2 so far. Then it moved on to. This is literally how my brain works. Okay.
Okay.
IC title, Miz and well, Miz won it. Who was Miz against? I have such a bad memory. Miz was in a rivalry. I'm pretty sure Miz won that, so that was a Hill. Then women's Hill won that.
Okay.
And a Hill one. Well, are we counting Reigns as a heel or a face?
Oh, we're counting him as the guy. He's going to be a tweener, which is basically in between. He's not a face or a heel, so he doesn't count basically.
Okay. 2?
You're going to say 2?
Yes, I will.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, Stefan. The answer is 3. Seriously, like I was counting with you, and I had 3 fingers up, and you were like, "Okay, so that's 2." I was like,
Wait, what?
Basically, you were like, "Okay, so Kalisto, that's 1. Ziggler, that's 2." And then you moved on to the main thing. You were like Vaudevillains, and then you were like Dean Ambrose 1. That's 3.
Dude, fuck. Uh,
So you got 2 of those right out of 5, which
good is it?
it's okay. It's okay.
We'll keep revising, guys.
You you were close. You weren't like
My
completely
target
miles
for
off.
my target for this this broadcast coming is gonna be 3 out of 2 or 3 out of 5.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the theme is, and you'll have to check out the video yourself. And yeah, go check it out. Cheeky plug. But yeah, so the theme won't be Payback again. It will be different questions and all that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this broadcast episode.
I enjoyed it. This was fun.
It was. So yeah, if you want us to return to just one show each week, or if you want us to keep it like this and have it separate from the pay-per-views, if that's all you care about, then go ahead. Also, like I did in the previous episode, I will hopefully be remembering to do those timings things in the description as to like each match that we talk about and the different sections that we talk about. So yeah, go ahead and well, it's a bit late now, but you can go ahead and check the description. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. So yeah, please leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe for more of these. We will be going up to Extreme Rules. Hopefully Extreme Rules is going to live up to its potential as well. Hopefully more storyline stuff will happen. But it should be Spot Fest because it's Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's goodbye from me, Defraze.
A goodbye from me, Forsaken Quack. Goodbye.
Peace.